Well, hey, brothers and sisters, it's Brother Matt back with you again. I'm going to go ahead and share the message that the Lord gave me for November 6th, 2023, which He gave me early in the morning. If you're new to my channel, what I do here is the Lord has been giving me messages since it started about 2 years ago, almost, or a year and a half ago. And between Easter and Pentecost, the Lord gave me a message really every night. And so I posted all of those messages already on the channel, about 50 messages all in all. And since then, the Lord continues to speak and continues to give me things to share. And so I've been faithful to, I've been trying to be faithful just to share the things that He's given me. He's told me to declare it, that it is a testimony and an encouragement, hopefully to some, and a challenge to others. And so that's what I do. I just read the message that the Lord gave me to share, the way that He gave me to share it. Sometimes, in addition to these messages, there are kind of some vision components. And in the beginning, when these things came, I didn't think as much about the vision pieces, but increasingly that sort of become a component. So today's message actually started with a vision. And then after that, the Lord began to speak. And so I will share everything that He gave me through the vision and the words that the Lord gave as well. And I try not to interpret this stuff too much, but just to give it as it was given and trust that the Holy Spirit will give you wisdom in how to interpret and how to understand these things. Certainly, I think I have a sense of what these things mean and at least what they mean to me. But I think it's the Holy Spirit's role to, help us to have wisdom about these things. And so I pray that He'll do that for you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe so that you can get additional videos when I post them. And please, if you have prayer requests that you would like me and like others to pray for, put them in the comments. We have a good sort of thing in this little community of praying for each other and putting our prayer requests in the comments. So we do welcome that and encourage that. I do pray for all the prayer requests that I see in the comments. And from time to time, as there are questions that seem relevant, questions that I feel like I can answer, then I try to respond to questions when necessary. So having said all of those things, I'm grateful as always for all of you, and pray the Lord's blessing over you, and pray the Lord's leading and direction through His Holy Spirit in your life. So let's look now at the message for November 6th, 2023. It began with a vision, and this is what the vision was. I saw a room, like an auditorium of an old church with wooden pews. And this room had a very low ceiling, and it was almost like, I guess in my mind, like an old Baptist church, and it was filled with people. But because the ceiling was low, it felt very, very crowded. And I guess I was kind of looking down the aisle towards the front, and at the front there was like the stage or the front area, and there was a performance going on there. And at the stage there were these figures, and they were dressed in white, like in white robes, and they had white veils over their faces, and they were strangely tall, very tall figures, but also kind of disfigured, sort of distorted looking figures. And they these garments that they were wearing almost looked like priestly garments or something, or maybe wedding garments, I guess. But they had these veils over their faces, and they had crowns on their heads, different types of crowns, or like ornate hat looking things. And then I didn't count the number of them, but in my mind I heard the word 7, and so I said 7. And again, white robes and veils over their faces, but the veil almost was like in the center in the face area was like almost like an oval, and it was mesh, and you could sort of see behind it, but it was just darkness. The faces were really dark, and then I said to my wife, I was describing all of this to her as I was seeing it, that they are monsters under the veils, demons. But it was in a church, or something like a church, and there were people sitting there watching this service, this performance of these 7 demonic creatures. And so they would speak, and I could see their mouths, and their lips were black, and their teeth were rotten, and their skin was kind of like, like what I imagine the skin of a corpse to be, kind of just rotten and pale and waxy. And I said, they are foul, unclean. And then the Lord said, they are deceiving spirits. And so they were crowned with different crowns. And then I said to my wife, because I'm describing all of these things to her as I'm seeing them, I said, because they are powers, and that's what the crowns may be represented, or they represent powers. I said, they are like foul brides, false counterfeits. And then the Lord said, they are 7 deceiving spirits. And then there were these words that came, and I guess I don't know if these words are meant to represent the names of the 7, because there weren't 7 words given. There were different words given at different times, or if it was just descriptive of the nature of these 7 things. But these are the words, and this is how the Lord proceeded from here, because this is when the Lord started to really kind of speak these things. Rumor, lies, deceit, fornication, shame. They have poisoned lips, and with poisoned lips they speak. They pollute what is pure. They corrupt my people, my church. They are within. They are fed in the dark, but the light will come in. They cannot stand against the light. Then, in the vision, the room changed. And it changed from this low-ceilinged room into something like a cathedral with a big arched ceiling. And there were these enormous windows on, I guess they were on either side, but particularly on the right side, there were these huge windows. And from out of the windows, streams of light came in. And those streams of light shined on these 7 figures in white. And as soon as the light hit them, they began to smoke and to burn, like they were being burned up in the light. And then the Lord continued to speak, and this is what the Lord said. They flee from the light. I will bring to light the things hidden in the darkness where men try to hide. They will not hide from me. For my eye sees all. There is no thing hidden from me. There is nothing that will remain covered. You will be laid bare, O man. I will uncover your nakedness, that you will be revealed. The darkness cannot hide from me, but those who are in the light do not fear my gaze. I will utterly consume their works. I will devour the devourer. I will destroy his works utterly. I will establish my people on my rock. They will not be shaken, for their foundation is sure. They will stand with full assurance on the day. I, the Lord, will reveal with my sword. I will rend meat from bone. All will be exposed. The deeds done in the darkness shall not stand the light of my coming. 7 foul brides. And this is in kind of the vision and the explanation of the vision, I guess, in my mind. 7 foul brides, a mockery of my virgins, a mockery of the 7 spirits of God. Despair, fear, torment, rumors, lies, deceit, shame. These are all kind of the words that were in my mind. Then the Lord continued, and this is what the Lord said. You will declare only what I have given to you. Be faithful to declare it. And that was the end of what the Lord spoke to me. And then I just saw a little bit more that night. And what I saw was, I saw my daughter and my mom together, and they were in a house. And what was interesting was my daughter was older. She was an adult. And my mom was younger, like in her prime. Like they were both in their prime. And they were together and they were talking, and they were in like a kitchen and they were cooking. And so, I don't really know kind of what that is supposed to represent. In my mind, I think I just kind of felt like it was almost a picture of themselves in their glorified bodies, maybe. And then I saw this dear friend of mine, an older woman, this is my friend's mother, actually. And she was in this fancy robe, sort of in contrast to the robes that these 7 spirits, these evil spirits were wearing. But I saw her in this beautiful white robe, huge and ornate, and she's smiling, and she was young, like again in her prime, full of joy. And she was with all of these other people that were dressed in similar robes, and they were dancing, and they were almost like in a line dance or in some sort of like a traditional dance of some kind. But they were in this big hall, and they were dancing, and they were joyful. And it was like this big celebration, like this celebration procession. And seeing her, I thought was really significant. I know she's been long involved in ministry, and it was almost like she was part of a special group, a special order that was together as a part of this procession. So that was another component. And then finally, the last thing that I saw was a fortress cut into the rock, almost like a cave dwelling. And there was like an amphitheater type of thing in the cave, and there were all these people gathered there, and there were caverns and trails going off. I mean, it was almost like an underground city, basically, with sort of alleyways and pathways, but everything made of stone. And there was a large group of people gathered there. So anyway, I don't know. So really, kind of, I think about it now, it's like there were really kind of 3 pictures of these 3 places and I guess performances in each of the places in the stone fortress, and in sort of the heavenly space, and then in this corrupted church. Anyway, I know I'm rambling, and I'm sorry, and I'm sure you're probably going to turn the video off by now. But that is what the Lord gave me, and so I'm trying to be faithful to share it, polished or unpolished, however it comes out. I'm just trying to give you what the Lord has given me, and I pray that He will do whatever He intends to do. Labor while it is day, because the night is coming. Brothers and sisters, be blessed, and I'll be back with you when I have something else to share. Take care.